There is someone using your name to attract negative karma to your life, and this explains much of what you have been experiencing in recent times. Have you ever stopped to think why certain things simply do not work out, even when you do everything the right way? Why do relationships crumble without reason? Why does money enter and vanish? Why do you feel a fatigue that does not pass, a sensation of weight that has no medical explanation? Pay attention to what I am going to reveal to you now, because this can completely change the way you understand what is happening to you. God sent an angel with a very specific mission, and this mission involves you. This angel carries a revelation that many are not prepared to hear. There is someone close to you, someone you know, who is using your energetic identity to divert negative karma to your life. And the most disturbing part is that this person may be smiling in your face every day. This video will show you exactly how this works, what the signs are that you are being used in this way, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself and reverse this situation starting today. Stay with me until the end, because the revelation that comes in the last block of this video may be exactly what you need to finally understand what is blocking your life. Before continuing, I need you to understand something fundamental. When we speak of identity on the spiritual plane, we are not talking only about your baptismal name or your documents. We are talking about something much deeper and more complex. Your spiritual identity is composed of your unique energetic frequency, your emotional memories, your thought patterns, and mainly by your vibrational signature. It is like a fingerprint of your soul. No one in the entire universe has one equal to yours. And it is precisely this singularity that makes you vulnerable to a specific type of spiritual manipulation that few people know or even imagine exists. You have already heard of identity theft in the physical world, right? When someone uses your data to make purchases, incur debts, commit frauds. Well, on the spiritual plane there exists something very similar, only the consequences are infinitely more devastating because they affect areas of your life that you do not even imagine are connected. When someone uses your spiritual identity, this person is basically redirecting to you the energetic consequences of their actions. Karma, in its purest essence, is simply the law of cause and effect operating in the universe. Each action generates a corresponding reaction. Each energy sent returns to its origin, but when someone manipulates this dynamic, using your identity as a shield, the consequences that should go to that person end up coming directly to you. And do you know what is most frightening in all of this? The person who does this does not always know consciously what they are doing. Often it is a learned pattern, a form of emotional survival that they developed throughout life. But the fact of it not being conscious does not diminish in any way the devastating impact on your life. Now I want you to think with me with great honesty. In recent months or years, have you experienced any of these symptoms? First, a persistent sensation that something is wrong, even when apparently everything is fine. It is as if you lived in a state of constant alert, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. You wake up already tired, even having slept 8 hours. It seems that there is an invisible weight on your shoulders that you cannot remove in any way. Second, repetitive patterns of failure in specific areas of life. It could be in love, where all relationships end in the same painful way. It could be in money, where no matter how much you earn, it is always lacking at the end of the month. It could be in health, where problems without medical explanation appear and disappear without any logic. Third, people distancing themselves from you without apparent motive. Friendships of years that simply grow cold out of nowhere. Professional opportunities that arise and disappear at the last minute. Doors that close right at the moment you were going to pass through them. Fourth, a disturbing sensation of not being yourself, as if you were living the life of another person. A deep disconnection between who you feel you are inside and the life you are living on the outside. If you identified with 2 or more of these symptoms, there is a high probability that your energetic identity is being used by someone. And before you think that this is something in your head, let me explain to you how science itself begins to prove these phenomena that seem so abstract. Quantum physics has already demonstrated that absolutely everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. The HeartMath Institute in the United States conducted scientific research showing that the electromagnetic field of the human heart can be measured several meters away from the body. This field carries detailed information about our emotional state and can directly influence other people around us. Researchers at Princeton University, in the Global Consciousness Project, discovered that events of great global emotional impact affect random number generators around the world, strongly suggesting that there exists a collective consciousness that connects all human beings. What does this mean in practice? That we are all connected by invisible energy fields, and that this connection can be used both for good and for evil. When someone establishes an energetic bond with you, especially someone close, this person can, consciously or unconsciously, use this connection to transfer negative energy to your field. In the Brazilian spiritual tradition, this has been known for centuries. The indigenous peoples of this land already spoke about energetic cords that link us to the people with whom we have relationships. Spiritist masters speak about obsessors who take advantage of breaches in our aura. Religions of African matrix deeply understand the mechanisms of energetic transfer between people. It is not superstition. It is an ancestral understanding of universal laws that modern science is only beginning to validate with its research and equipment. Now comes the part you need to pay close attention to. I will reveal to you the 3 most common profiles of people who use the energetic identity of others to divert karma. And an important warning. It can be quite uncomfortable to recognize someone you love in these profiles. But knowing the truth is always the first step toward liberation. The first profile is the unconscious emotional vampire. This person has not the slightest idea of what they are doing. They simply learned since childhood to survive by sucking energy from others. Generally, they went through severe traumas of abandonment or rejection and developed a defense mechanism where they connect energetically to the strongest people around to feel safe and protected. The problem is that this connection is not balanced. They take much more than they give, and with time they begin to deposit in you not only their emotional demands, but also the karmic consequences of their choices. You feel as if you were carrying a weight that is not yours, because literally it is. How to identify this profile? Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with this person. If you feel exhausted, confused, or with a sensation of inexplicable emptiness, this is a very important sign. Another clear indicator is when this person always has problems that somehow you end up solving. And even so, their problems never end. They seem to live in an infinite cycle of crises. A crucial detail that many people do not perceive: the unconscious emotional vampire frequently places themselves as a victim in all situations. Nothing is ever their fault. The world is unfair to them. People are mean to them. And you, with your good heart, believe everything and try to compensate for this injustice. But this dynamic is creating a direct channel so that their karma drains into your life without you noticing. The second profile is the conscious manipulator. This one is rarer, but it exists and is extremely dangerous when you cross the path of one. They are people who learn techniques of energetic manipulation and use them deliberately to benefit themselves at the expense of others. They may have studied spiritual practices and distorted this sacred knowledge for completely selfish ends. These people are usually extremely charismatic and persuasive. They win your trust quickly and create a strong emotional dependency. You feel that you need their approval for everything. You feel that you cannot make important decisions without consulting this person first. And the most revealing, when you try to distance yourself, strange things happen in your life that seem to pull you back close to them. If you are thinking of someone specific now, do not ignore this thought. Your unconscious is sending you a clear and urgent message. The third profile is the most difficult to identify and especially to accept. It is the envious relative. It could be a father, a mother, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, someone of your own blood who, for reasons that sometimes go back to past lives, carries a deep and often disguised envy of you. In Brazil, we know very well how family dynamics work. Sunday table, barbecues on the weekend, end-of-year parties, Christmas, Easter. The family is always nearby, always present. And precisely for this reason, these bonds are the most difficult to recognize as problematic. We grow up hearing that family is everything, that blood is thicker than water. But think with me with sincerity. Is there someone in your family who always minimizes your achievements, who makes apparently innocent comments that leave you down, who seems to root against you even if they never admit it openly, who is strangely satisfied when things go wrong in your life, who changes the subject when you share something good but wants to know all the details when you are going through difficulties? This type of negative family bond is one of the most powerful channels for the transfer of undue karma, because the blood bond creates a natural energetic connection that is very difficult to break. It is as if you shared the same electrical circuit. I know it is painful to consider that someone from your own family could be harming you energetically, but I need to be completely honest with you. In my experience accompanying people in processes of spiritual awakening, the most serious cases of karma transfer almost always involve close relatives, because they are the people with whom we have the deepest and oldest bonds. While you were listening to these profiles, did any name or face come to your mind? If it did, leave in the comments only the first letter of that person's name. You do not need to expose anyone, but this act of recognition is a very important first step in the process of liberation. When you externalize, even if in a symbolic way, you begin to break the pact of silence that keeps this dynamic functioning. And if this content is making sense to you, if you are feeling that finally someone is putting into words something that you always felt but did not know how to explain, leave your like on this video. This helps this knowledge reach other people who also urgently need this revelation. And subscribe to the channel if you are not yet subscribed, because every week I bring content that will help you understand and transform your spiritual reality in a practical and profound way. Let us continue, because now comes the revelation that can change absolutely everything in your life. The message that I'm going to share now came through a channeling that happened during a deep meditative experience. And I know that this may sound strange to some people. But for you who have arrived here, who are watching this video, precisely because you feel that there is something greater happening in your life, I ask that you keep your mind and heart completely open. The angel who brought this message presented himself as a messenger of discernment. His function in the celestial hierarchy is precisely to reveal hidden truths that prevent human beings from living their full purpose. He did not come with judgment. He did not come with condemnation. He came with clarity, because clarity is always the first step for any true transformation. The first thing he revealed was that this practice of using another's identity to divert karma is becoming increasingly common in today's world. With the increase of individualism, of unbridled competition, of excessive materialism, and the spiritual disconnection that marks our era, many people are resorting unconsciously to these mechanisms of energetic survival. He showed that, on the spiritual plane, each person has a kind of individual Akashic record. It is like a sacred book where all your actions, thoughts, and intentions are meticulously recorded. This record determines your karma, that is, the experiences that you will attract to your life as a consequence of your choices. When someone uses your energetic identity, this person is basically writing in your book. They are recording actions and intentions that are not yours as if they were yours, and the universe, in its perfect justice, returns to you the consequences of these false entries. It is as if someone took your credit card and went out making purchases everywhere, and the bill came entirely for you to pay. Only on the spiritual plane, the bill is not in money, it is in life experiences, in inexplicable blocks, in sufferings that seem to have no cause, in diseases that arise out of nowhere, in relationships that crumble without explanation. But here comes the good news that the angel brought with great clarity. There exists a way to identify who is doing this to you, and more importantly still, there exists a proven way to reverse this process and re-establish the complete integrity of your spiritual identity. The process of identification begins with a practice that you can do today, in your own home. Before sleeping, light a white candle. Sit comfortably in a place where you will not be interrupted. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, releasing all the air from your lungs. Feel your body relaxing with each exhalation. Place your right hand over your heart. Feel the beats. Feel the life pulsing inside you. And say mentally or out loud, with all the intention of your being, I invoke the presence of the angel of discernment. I ask that there be revealed to me, in a dream or in clear intuition, the name and the face of who is using my energetic identity to transfer karma. I am ready to see the truth. I am ready to liberate myself. Do this for 7 consecutive nights. 7 is a sacred number in practically all the spiritual traditions of the world. It represents conclusion, perfection, a complete cycle. By doing this practice for 7 nights, you are creating a consistent and powerful communication portal with the spiritual plane. During this period, pay special attention to your dreams. Have a notebook and a pen by the side of the bed. As soon as you wake up, even before getting up or looking at your cell phone, write down everything you remember, even if it seems meaningless. Dreams are one of the most direct ways the spiritual world uses to communicate with us, but the memory of dreams is fleeting. If you do not write it down immediately, in a few minutes, the details begin to be lost. Pay attention also to your intuitions during the day. It may be that the name comes in a subtle and unexpected way, in an apparently casual conversation, in a song you hear on the radio, on a traffic sign, on a billboard in the street. The universe is extremely creative in the ways of sending us messages. It is enough for us to be truly open to receive. Many people who have already done this process reported absolutely impressive experiences. Some dreamed directly of the person in scenarios that made very clear what was happening. Others heard the name in a completely unexpected context. Others still felt a sudden and unshakable certainty, as if a light had been turned on inside them, revealing what deep down they always knew but did not want to admit consciously. And here goes an important warning. Many people are deeply shocked when the revelation finally comes, because frequently it is someone in whom they trusted deeply, someone they would never suspect in 1,000 years. But remember always, the revelation is not to generate anger or revenge. It is to generate consciousness and liberation. Because only when you know where the problem comes from, you can finally begin the true solution. Now comes the most important part of this whole process, the recovery of your energetic identity and permanent protection against future invasions. The first step is the cutting of energetic cords. This is a millenary practice known in various spiritual traditions around the world. It consists of visualizing the invisible cords that connect you to other people and cutting those that are harming you. Find a moment of complete silence in your routine. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and begin to breathe in a slow and deep way. Visualize your body enveloped by an intense and brilliant golden light. This light is the manifestation of the divine energy that exists inside you. It protects you, strengthens you, purifies you. Now, with the eyes of your mind, imagine that you can see all the energetic cords that come out of your body toward other people. Some are healthy, of a clear and brilliant color. They are the bonds of genuine love, of true friendship. These you will keep and strengthen. Other cords are different. They are dark, dense, they seem to drain your vital energy. When you look at them, you feel a weight, an instinctive discomfort. These are the ones you need to cut urgently. Visualize a sword of light in your hands, a golden sword, brilliant, powerful. With absolute firmness, but without anger in your heart, cut each of the dark cords. While cutting, declare, I release you, and I release myself. The karma is yours, it returns to you. What is mine stays with me. What is yours goes away. In the name of the divine light, I break this connection now and forever. After cutting all the dark cords, visualize the golden light sealing completely each point of your body where there was a connection. You are creating an impenetrable spiritual shield. This practice should be repeated at least once a week until you feel a significant and lasting change in your energy and in the circumstances of your life. The second step is the daily strengthening of your spiritual identity. You need to become energetically stronger so that no one can use your identity again. Every morning upon waking, before doing anything else, place your hand on your heart and declare with total conviction, I am sovereign of my energy. No external force has power over me. My spiritual identity is protected by the divine light. I am who I am, and no one can use my essence. During the day, whenever you feel your energy drop or when you are near people who drain you, breathe deeply and reaffirm mentally your energetic sovereignty. At night, before sleeping, Give thanks for the protections received, and ask your spiritual guides to continue guarding your identity while you sleep, as sleep is when we are most vulnerable energetically. The third step is to establish firm limits with the person who was using your identity. After the revelation comes, you will have to make practical decisions. I am not saying that you necessarily need to cut this person out of your life forever. Each situation is unique, but you need to establish clear limits that protect your energy. In the case of relatives, where total distancing is not always possible, the limit can be more subtle. You can continue to be present at family events, but protect your energetic field before going. You can be cordial, but no longer vulnerable. You can love, but from a safe distance. And here goes an additional powerful revelation that the angel brought. Many times the person who is using your energetic identity was placed in your life precisely for you to learn to establish limits. It is part of your evolutionary process as a soul. When you manage to liberate yourself from this dynamic, you not only recover your energy, but also complete an important lesson that your soul needed to learn. Nothing in this life is by chance. Even the most painful experiences carry seeds of transformation and growth. Now I want to speak directly to you who arrived here. If you watched this video to this point, it was no coincidence at all. There is a profound reason why this content reached you today, at this exact moment of your journey. Today you received a very powerful key. What you are going to do with this key depends exclusively on you. You can ignore everything you heard here. You can rationalize and say that this is nonsense, it is your absolute right. Or you can give a sincere chance to these practices. You can do the process of revelation for the next 7 nights. You can begin to cut the energetic cords. You can establish healthy limits with the people who drain you. People who did this process report impressive results. Money that was blocked begins to flow. Stuck relationships begin to take off. Health problems without explanation begin to improve. Opportunities that seemed impossible begin to appear. It is not magic. It is simply the result of you recovering what was always yours by divine right. If this content touched you in some way, share this video with someone who is going through inexplicable difficulties. Sometimes a simple share can completely transform a person's life. Leave in the comments how you are feeling after watching this video. I read all the comments and frequently respond personally. Next week I will bring even deeper content on how to identify when your karma has been completely cleansed and the signs that the transfer has stopped. So subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so as not to miss this essential continuation. Before closing, one last important reflection. You are not alone on this journey. You never were. There exists a hierarchy of beings of light working constantly to help you. Angels, guides, spiritual mentors. All of them are just waiting for you to ask for help with sincerity. The universe is just. Karma is real. And the truth always comes to light. If someone is using your identity to harm you, this situation cannot last forever. Spiritual laws guarantee that each one receives exactly what they deserve. Your function now is to accelerate this process. It is to retake your power. It is to recover your identity and your true destiny. You have the strength for this, you always had. Perhaps you had only forgotten. But this video came to remind you. Go in peace. May the divine light protect you and guide you. May the revelation come clear in your dreams, and may the liberation be complete and definitive. I will meet you in the next video. A hug to the heart. Stay with God.